Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Drew here in Los Angeles, California. And tonight we have the championship game of the Trey-Jay SummerSlam. We got Team Wolf taking on Team Victorious. I'm B-Ron, and joining me is Maestro. We haven't seen or heard from Maestro in a good little bit, but Maestro, it's good to have you here with me, my friend. How are you?
It's great to be with you there, B-Ron. I appreciate you picking me up at the airport. I know I still got my pants back from that security guard. She said it was very important that she keep them. Nobody else had to take off their pants. I don't know why she made me take off mine, but I appreciate you giving me a ride anyway, bro.
I don't know why either. That was still strange to me when I saw it. But look, we're here in the Drew, and this is a lively environment as always for any kind of basketball. Usually you're seeing pros come in here and play during the summer, but this last couple of days been the high school and college kids of SimWorld Prep and SimWorld U taking center stage at the Drew. It's been a treat for everyone involved. I've seen multiple players in here. I've seen LeBron, I've seen Bronny, I've seen Steph Curry in here. I've seen a lot of SWBA players taking in some of the future of basketball here. It's been a really fun tournament, and we're getting a good one here in this one, I think, Maestro.
Somebody need to change their notes after that one. It's been great. It's been great to watch sort of a lot of the off-season training and stuff kick in there, B-Ron. Watching, the teams, watching the individuals come out, but also watching how they're developing their team working skills. Some, a lot of cats are playing with cats haven't played with on a regular basis, and they're able to sort of bring their game out here today. I will say this though, I'm just going to get this out of the way. I love the Trey-Jay Slam. But the Prism Black and Whites or Whites and Blacks, I'm just so used to seeing those hot uniforms that SimWorld Prep have. Forget SimWorld U. SimWorld Prep always has the best uniform. I said what I said. Y'all can at me if you want to.
Hey, look, I'm seeing people in the YouTube chat here very happy to see you back here for this one. I feel like it's been a long time coming since we've had any kind of games really. Since what was that? The end of Hoops-Area. So it's still a little time we've had games to talk about. These are non-traditional games in many respects. Sure, they're playing 8-minute quarters. So say eight quarters. Four 8-minute quarters, Maestro. But there's no real typical game knowledge and stuff is going to be needed for this one, but there are EMs on the line in this one. The winner of this game will get 5,000 EMs, and the runner-up gets 2,500 EMs. So you got something to play for sure in this one.
And B-Ron, this is the thing, and I'll say this. Let me get this out the way. I'll need to thank everybody in SimWorld and in the SimWorld universe for their prayers and their thoughts. It means a lot. I can't even tell you. I'm gonna try not to break down here talking about it. But just know I appreciate y'all so much. I just, I can't wait to get back to you guys full of time. Trust me, we're working on it. No, the rumors of HR telling me to go and stay out the country are not true. That's not what's going on. but it's so interesting that, and I'm going to give you credit as always, B-Ron, to give everybody here in the media sort of kind of brought me around on a lot of different things of rewarding these players for their effort, for their engagement, for what they're bringing to the table. It's very special. It's so joyous to watch. And now what's really cool here, and I'm just going to speak very selfishly again, seeing some of the players that you and I watch come up through the prep that are now in SimWorld U, right? That are leaders, right? They're bringing up that next generation. To see that interaction, to see that family, to see that familia, as it were. I'm getting goosebumps already. It's what makes it special, man. This makes moments like this. Yeah, there's going to be a winner. Yes, there's somebody who's not going to win because I'm not going to use the L word. But we all get a chance to win when we see these young athletes get their game together. Not just what they do on the court, but what they bring from off the court, their leadership and their people skills.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a mix of talent in this one as well, Maestro. There's a mix of SimWorld U and SimWorld Prep talent here in this game on both sides, actually. It's a good time to talk about the rosters here really quick for each side. We've got Team Wolf, led by Enzo Wolf, going to play for Iowa. Jeremiah Cordero going to play for Duke. Sunshine Kickladder, a new face to SimWorld Prep. Drew Hanna and Jick Lee for Team Wolf. For Team Victoros, it's Victoros Ilgauskas there. He's playing for Duke. He's doing his sophomore season at Duke. Juan Vazale, Benjamin Alexander, both those guys heading up to SimWorld U for their freshman seasons. And then Wilson Lamb and Daniel Irvin are both in SimWorld Prep. So mix of talent on both sides. And I think this is a good test for the SimWorld Prep guys in particular to see kind of where you stack up. And there's a huge slam from Ilgauskas. Right on time, too.
Somebody said something about somebody's mama. It did not go the way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Ooh, nice move by Cordero in the paint. Nice move by Cordero in the paint. Has someone on his shoulders. What did he do? He used his advantage. That's great. That off basketball skill. We know he likes to do so many things off the court, right? Puts in the play right there, going straight up there, very strong.
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't want to make this too much of a normal broadcast, but it's so hard to not fall into that trap, right? So we do, Maestro. But
they're so good, B-Ron. They're so good.
Yeah, right? Exactly. I think that this is, like I was saying earlier, this is a good test for the SimWorld Prep guys, especially the first-season players coming into it. They're going to see where they stack up right now and just how far they have to go to get to really be prepared for the SimWorld U level in a few seasons in some cases, depending on what your age is.
Oh, absolutely. And I remember those camp games, and when, coming up and getting a chance to play against the people at the next level, getting really a chance to see where you were, and it was always a great measuring stick because it gave you something to work for and look for. How did this player do their crossover? How did they handle their move into the paint? How did they handle their off-shoulder pass? All those little things, they just add up, and it's just, I know B-Ron, look, you and me, we both love all sports, and me and you are both baseball fans. We can't help it. But the reality of it is these young players bring so much to the game, no matter what ugly shoes they're wearing, that we just appreciate the game that they play, and it's just great to see. It
really is. It's so great to see basketball, like I said, back here on SimWorld TV. It's been a little bit of time since we've been able to call some games. We've seen a lot of the highlights from respective, viral pickup games and open run footage, that kind of stuff. We've heard rumblings from various team scrimmages from Trey-Jay doing the scouting work over there in that area of things. But we haven't seen any basketball like this in quite some time. And even if it is a less traditional, less structured style of basketball, it's still basketball at the end of the day, right? Right.
And it's, it's a chance for you to build up that IQ, to learn yourself more than anything else, right? Learn what your strengths are, what you need to work. What a move in the paint. Right there. You how can you not appreciate that ability to be able to sort of set yourself up for a move like that? And that's something that's going to stick away in his vault. He's going to make sure that he's going to put himself in a position to be able to do that again soon.
Absolutely. Enz Wolf out here throwing absolute dimes. That was talk about threading the needle with Drew Hanna. That was an incredible pass from Enzo Wolf. And there's a block from Hanna.
I love seeing my man Jake Lee too. Look how he handles the ball. He plays like he's 6'3" when he's got his handle, and he plays like he's 9'11" when he's in the post. You just gotta love it.
Jake Lee has had his fair share of tough matchups in the tournament. He's played one up against Corey Yams twice. Now going up against Ilgauskas. What a pass! Throwing it up to the big fella Lee, who puts it down softly with the two-handed finish there, and that's going to end the first quarter right there. A 10-point lead for Team Wolf. We'll take a quick break.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 a.m? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm.
get to a better state.
Delivery. Give me a shot if anybody comes in. You got it. Bud Light, the mother load. Hey, drink outside. Did you hear something?
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Bartender, 20 Bud Light. Oh no!
Make it a Bud Light.
Welcome back, everyone. A 25-15 lead here for Team Wolf as we get ready for the second quarter. Here in the finale of the Trey-Jay SummerSlam. Once again, I'm B-Ron, and joining me is Maestro alongside for the call for the very first off-season tournament here in SimWorld Prep. It's SimWorld U, is what I should say, because all these tournaments this season events will feature talent from the college and high school ranks, a very unique setup, but one that I think is what separates SimWorld from a lot of other places where you might see basketball be played at here. Maestro.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because back in the day, in the day of the troglodytes and the the day back when people had big old fat TVs, like I still have in my living room.
And all of that, yeah.
Right? Yeah, exactly. If you were a high school player and you stepped on the court with someone from the college level, didn't matter what college level they were from, you automatically lost your year of eligibility no matter where you went. And that was the rule for the longest time until they finally re-regulated that for certain camps where they gave you those waivers. But you had to apply for that waiver. And I'm glad that the leaders here in SimWorld, they look past that. They look to the bigger picture, look for the development of these players and help everybody grow.
Yeah, that is a very interesting fact. I did not know that much, but that's very good to know, and it is a good thing now that isn't a thing anymore, because we wouldn't be seeing these matchups otherwise. You wouldn't see a Jake Lee going up against a Victor Osmogaskis.
Right.
You wouldn't see a Enzo Wolf against Wilson Lamb unless they're playing on the same level.
Right. Or an unregulated street game or a street,
right.
Pickup game like a thing.
Right, exactly. Where you happen to be in the same area, and oh hey, want to play pickup, want to run fives, want to run threes, whatever. Yeah, sure.
And it cannot be a formal workout. It cannot. That was another rule. Like it cannot be considered. Where any coaching goes on, there was all these rules. But the NCAA, whatever. I'm not even talking about that. I'm gonna get that out the way. But you know what? I got some issues with how one of our boys was depicted here. I want to get this out the way because it's been bothering me for a while here. How all the listeners, and we appreciate y'all for comparing us to various people, whatever. I got Charles Barkley. Thank you, Coach Skinny, because that's just horrible. That's terrible. It's okay, Coach Skinny. Okay, I got you. I feel you. But you know what though? They said Yells was like Adam Silver, and that made me feel some kind of way. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Here's the deal. First of all, Yells smells good. So you know Adam Silver doesn't. So that knocks that out. The second thing, Yells is not an alien zombie cyborg. Ooh, what? So
I'm listening. All right, I'm listening.
Yells is all muscle, all dude, all whatever, and that's what it is. And Adam Silver is not. And the third thing, and the other thing is, unlike the reptilian, Yells get stuff done. So y'all might have said he's Adam Silver, but I felt some kind of way about that. I just had to defend my boy. I'm gonna send him a text later to let him know about that. But just saying.
So now I gotta ask you the question, Maestro. If he's not Adam Silver, who is he?
Look at you. You gonna put me on the spot like that?
Hey, you start. I'm finished. You started, man. I'm finishing.
You know what? I see Yells kind of like and this is a major compliment coming from me, and I hope he takes it that way when he hears this. I see him like a Magic Johnson. Oh, pick up the rebound. The Gauskas with the slam. Somebody's mama said, "Oh, boy, mama made a bowl and she should have made a pastry." Anyway, I see him like a Magic Johnson. You know, leading the league, leading players, leading the media team. You know, incorporating businesses, super successful across the table, and it's not just about what's on the court. And another
Benjamin Alexander. Oh my goodness. That was disgusting.
It was disgusting. Somebody.
A future San Diego State Aztec freshman throwing that one down right there. And look, Maestro, we've said it before. We're going to keep saying it to the cows from home, right? It's not a game. It's not even a league. It is a whole entire world. A SimWorld even. This is the best, realist sports RPG on the planet. No one else does it like we do here in SimWorld. Join now while we're still building this thing up. Because once it gets to be too big, I mean, it loses. You want to get in on the ground floor, right? And there are incentives for people who join as a head coach, in particular, looking for more head coaches to fill out the SimWorld prep ranks. Right? Yeah, we pay you. We pay you. You want to be a super fan as well? You could do that here also in SimWorld and just cheer on your favorite player, your favorite team, your favorite media member, whoever it is. Right? You can do all of that.
That's right. Come on.
SimWorldSports.com. Discord.gg/SimWorld Hoops and the EMs in the future that we're all stacking up. They'll have a real monetary value in the future as well.
And ladies,
so stack them up and you can turn them in for real money.
And ladies, tank tops and V-necks are provided.
Merch is coming. Maestro. Perfect segue. Maestro is for sure back with that one, ladies. Gentlemen and non-binary pals, we love this. We love Maestro being back in the building, back here with us.
Look, I ain't racist. You can wear whatever you want to wear.
Whatever you want. Dresses?
You know what that thing comes out, right?
Right, like dressiest kind of guy. I don't know. Skyhook from Real Godskin, showing off a little bit of a Kareem-esque. I don't know, man.
His game, and you know what? And seeing him matched up against Jiggly, come on, man. That's like, ooh, what a move into the paint. Follow through with finish, boom, bow, baby.
Him matching up against Jiggly, though, Maestro, you were saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I blanked out there for a second after that move in the paint there by Kicklighter. Watching that, you know, seeing someone who is in the bikini tops work too, to see who, to see where Gauskas was, right? So remember him when he first kind of came in the league. You know, he was a little, he was athletic, but he was a little lumbering, not quite as fluid, and we watched him grow really fast. Yeah, he was slow. Yeah, okay. You're all right. Gonna be honest about it. Yeah. And you know what? And what happened? You know, under Coach Dodge, working with DJ Wagner. What happened? We saw his game, and then of course his last season playing with
quickness. Yeah,
exactly. Playing with the robot.
And I say that much because I remember that was my big criticism of Ilgauskas at the high school level.
And that's what brought it to mind.
From his first season into his second one, I said he needed to work on the lateral quickness, and he did that. And it looks like he's done more of that with Duke after his first season with Duke now, and heading into his sophomore campaign. He's looking like he's really improved on that side of the floor as well in terms of the lateral quickness. You put him with Ivanov on the same floor, people are saying that they might be one of the slower big tandems in the ACC, perhaps. But I mean, sure. But I think that if Ilgauskas continue, they're big. Like, what do you expect? He's a big guy. He's not gonna be this anomaly of an athlete. He's 7'3", 7'2". I'm not expecting him to be to run a 4-3. All right, let's not kid
Right.
ourselves here, right?
Right. And he's fluid.
Right.
I'll say that he's and the thing about, and see, that's what made me think about that part, because I remember distinctly when we were breaking down when we were breaking down the OGs, that was your comment about the one thing that might slow them down coming into that second season. And of course he worked on it, they got better, they ended up winning the championship that particular year. But the reality of, you see somebody like him, right, and see how his game is developed, and then you see a kid like Jake Lee, who has natural fluidity, able to move out of the double team, natural passer, just natural athleticism, sort of kind of where he has the athletic ability of that's a little bit more than what Vic brings to the table. And it's just the IQ part, right? And to see them going against each other, right now Jake Lee is putting together a book. Playing against, playing against the Gauskas, knowing, just the stuff that he's taking away from this matchup alone is amazing.
Exactly, and he got to go up against Corey Yams twice, as I mentioned earlier, in the tournament. Played them.
Another one.
Right. Another guy who is not going to be the guy who's going to score a bunch of points in the paint, but he's going to give you defensive effort and rebounding solidly, I might add. He's shown flashes of being a good offensive threat, though. I will say that much.
Right. Yes. And I remember the game. You and I called that semifinal game when Corey Yams basically unveiled consistent offensive abilities. And I remember the matchup. It was him against Sean Hyman. And I remember the comments that you and I were both finding ourselves saying, like, wow, look at what's happening here, where they were getting those surprise buckets, right? Yams were able to give those surprise buckets, and the consistent which we did it, and we noticed what happened after that, right? I mean, he was always a dirty player. He was always getting points in all the key parts of this, the stat line. But when his offensive game picked up, he just became more dangerous, and it was great to see that happen.
Absolutely it was. We're seeing a lot of great ball movement here. On the possession too, and there's Drew Hanna pushing on the inside.
Love his game. I just love. I mean, I like the hair. Because kind of
absolutely
carrot juice. But it just.
Hey, look, he's got the perfect look for the Scorchers. Scorchers color scheme is in full effect here. Between the shoes and the hair, he's gonna look really good in that orange, black, and white color scheme that the Scorchers have this season.
Fire uniforms, no pun intended. I would like to see him get shoes to match his hair, though. I'm being greedy. I like to see him get shoes to match. Yeah, it's pretty close, but I know it's some more orange out there here.
More orange, right? More orange, more points on the board here. We get to halftime, 39-33. Team Victoras out in front here, Maestro. We're not gonna go in and break down this stuff real heavy like we would do in the normal broadcast, but it has been a very, very fun first half of action here in the championship to the Trey-Jay SimWorld. Really has been.
Absolutely. The ball movement has been so much fun to see, and even though it's relaxed nature and the tank tops in LA are amazing, what we're seeing from these players, and again, B-Ron, maybe it's just me, but I'm seeing everybody work on a higher IQ level than I remember from a couple of seasons ago, and that's worth it by itself.
Exactly. We got more basketball, though. Stick around. Be right back with it. Welcome back to the Drew, everyone. The final game of the Trey-Jay SummerSlam here in Los Angeles, California, between a combination of SimWorld U and SimWorld Prep players. I'm V-Ron, and Maestro's back with me for the second half of this one. And look, Maestro, change is an ever-present thing in basketball, as we know. And we've seen a lot of change this offseason with SimWorld Prep coaches making the jump up to SimWorld U. Three of those being Skinny Washington, Tomas Kusa, and Coach Todd Drayton for the Syracuse, the last season winner of the Syracuse Orange, I might add. So, and Dre Pope as well, joining South Carolina.
Right.
Four. And Dre Pope joining South Carolina as well. I knew there was one I was forgetting. That didn't sound right to me. Wasn't on purpose, Dre, I promise. But what are you looking forward to from Syracuse this season in particular? Because I've seen some people saying that they're going to be much better than last season. I don't think SimWorld is as high on them from what I remember of the episode of this morning from SimWorld today. I'm somewhere in the middle on them. I don't think they'll be world beater, but I don't think they'll be terrible like last season at all. I think they'll be in the middle of the pack in the ACC.
I got you. I said it before. I say it again. In terms of everybody else, Washington, Pope, Kusa, they're definitely going to improve their teams because they are really good at not only team building but culture building, right? So we know that they're going to go there. They're going to reset the table. They're going to restructure those programs that they're going to be consistent throughout the table. And getting to my boy Coach Drayton, I got two things for him. I already said it to his face, and I'm gonna say it again. I see Syracuse being not only a plus 500 team next season. I see Drayton getting them on the edge of, if not into, hoop stereo. And I mean that. I said it before. I say it again. I might be cursing him or whatever. I'm about to curse him about something else. But I really see him. I really see Coach Overtime putting that program in a place because of how he thinks about basketball. And that's one good thing about listening to his pods. And please, everybody, you got to support everybody's pods and work and writing and stuff like that to get an insight into his thinking and how he sees the game, how he calls games. The things that he pays attention to, those are the things that his athletes are not only going to hear, but they're going to feed on, and they're going to be able to build on. And he's definitely going to make that happen. I said what I said. I'm not backing down from it, and I'll do what I got to do because Syracuse is going to do what they're going to do because of him. But the one thing I got to say, he's worried about a SimWorld Prep team in Jersey. And I ain't mad about that. But it's hard to get a prep team in Jersey when people keep stealing the bus. Recruiters go down there to Jersey. Next thing you know, the bus is stolen because part of the public school curriculum in New Jersey is to how to hotwire a car, and the bus is the only thing you can hotwire. I'm sorry, at this point. That was me. And it's the smell. You got plans and I'm sorry, I'm being nasty. I can't be doing that. But Dre, love you, bro.
I unfortunately am also familiar with smells because there's an area here where you drive through and you go, yep, I know exactly where I am because I'm near. I can smell this place. That's exactly what I know. And even here in LA too, man. It's just I'm not used to it. I'm not used to it, honest with you. A lot of unfamiliar smells and unfamiliar building designs and that kind of thing. I'm not used to it at all. It's very weird.
Well, I'm gonna say like my grandma said, if it smells bad, don't step in it. You can do
it's hard not to when you're here. Hard not to when you're here, my friend, in LA. You never know what you're gonna find.
Absolutely.
Goes both ways.
Oh, what a pass!
Ilgauskas can't finish, but does grab his own rebound there. Second effort, oh good.
Vic Lee made that very difficult. You know what? I really feel if Ilgauskas, if the big ill was with anyone else at that particular point, that's an easy two. But I think having Vic Lee right down his throat, obstructing the way, casting that shadow, gave him something else to think about. And I think that's what made that move a little bit difficult for him.
Yeah, I think that, and it's funny you mentioned that too, because I'm looking in the chat here and I see Sniper J. And again, he's one of the senior scouts here in SimWorld. Sniper J saying that Jake Lee's stock is rising. Also, Juan Bazale, big stock riser as well, according to Sniper J. Watching this one here, taking it in from the sidelines. What do you think about Bazale and his stock rising? What are your thoughts on that?
No doubt. I mean, first of all, and you know this from from not only games we've called but conversations we've had. Juan Bazale is one of those players that came right in, got engaged right away, from the locker room to open runs to everything else. Always at every game, very vocal in the chat, but not just vocal as in being making noise, but he was actually providing signal. And by that, I mean this. He was talking about the game as it was going on, and you could see him all of a sudden incorporating some of the things he was watching into his game, and that tells you how someone can implement their IQ growth, right? And the greatest thing about Juan Bazale is, when I heard, okay, B-Ron, I hear this all the time, and I kind of feel some kind of way about it. Oh, he got that dog in him, right? I hear people say that about players a lot, right?
I hear it all the time. All the time. It's overused. It's overused, my opinion.
Thank you. It's completely overused because, to me, that dog in you is the player who's on the team who's down 20, diving on the floor, trying to take a charge, still trying to get a steal, still trying to take that foul, still getting physical, not just walking through a play. Or if they're up 20, they're diving on the floor, trying to take. You see what I'm getting at? To me, the dog never leaves. To me, the dog never leaves, right? And I'm saying this on purpose because Juan Bazale is that guy to me. You think about his very first time, right? The very first time we saw him in an open run to we see him in action. Look at, I can't even think of, no matter how his team performed, I can't think of a performance where he got worse. And that tells me that he is always pushing to get better. Yes, he likes to talk, whatever, but he puts it behind his game, and that's what I appreciate.
Exactly, yeah. And if everyone has the dog in them, then no one has the dog, right? Not special at that point anymore.
Thank you.
Not by the way, who puts forth effort on a play or a given scenario has that dog in them. That's not how that works.
Thank you.
It is a very specific set quality that you have that is a very much a all or nothing mentality.
Exactly. Noise and signal. Noise stuff is just there. People are running around, people doing what they're doing, they're stepping on the outline, they're just just all over the place, not in the play, they're just in the way. And then there's signal. There's actually good stuff going on happening. That's what I'm talking about. The players, that's why I like my dirties. There's a lot of signal there. They're involved in every play. They're getting a rebound, getting an assist, they're getting a block, they're getting a steal. They're doing all those things, even though they might not be at the top of their stat sheet for their team. They're doing everything in the gap, all the dirty work to give their team a chance.
Exactly. Look out below. I saw that developing, and I was like, I said, oh boy, that's not going to be good. And sure enough, it wasn't. Ilgauskas put on a post there. That's going to be one for Jake to hang up on his wall in his dorm somewhere at a college campus next season, or even later on in the SimWorld prep season when he's still living with his parents back home in California for the Breakers.
Oh my goodness gracious, and oh by the way, not just that, who he did it on. We know Ilgauskas' abilities defensively, right? It wasn't like he did it over me. He did it over someone who actually, he did it over someone who has the opportunity to, actually has the ability and the awareness to stop him. And he still made it happen.
Yeah.
Because I mean, listen, you know my answer. I'm just going to take the charge. I'm going to take the charge. It might cost me a couple of ribs, but I'm taking that charge. Because that's all I got.
I'm going to protect the investment. That's myself. You can have it. You can have it, buddy. I'm not. No, I know my limits. I know my limits. That's not one of them. You can have it.
Well, that's what.
I'm not looking for the league on film. I'm not doing that.
Well, B. Aloysius Orenthal Gerard, on the 15th half and the third. That's the reason you're the most beautiful man in SimWorld, and I'm not.
Hey, yeah. Hey, smart man, smart. Gotta get out the way. I can't help you on the floor in the game if I'm the one getting dunked on and getting embarrassed. Like I can't do that. No. I'll let somebody else take the embarrassment for that.
There you go.
Not one bit whatsoever, my friend. Oh man.
Time out by Team Wolf. We're gonna give a shout out to everybody who's been watching all the SummerSlam games and hanging with us. I mean, I know we're not talking formal basketball. I know. Me and B-Ron just catching up. And oh, by the way, the security guard brought my pants. She brought my pants and gave me her number. So hey,
goodness.
I might not be catching a flight back home tonight. I might hang out in LA for another couple of months. I'm sorry.
Couple of months is crazy.
Yeah.
Don't stay too long, Maestro. I'm SimWorld Superjet misses you. So
So you know what, everybody in here hanging with us, going to get your shout outs in the chat. We appreciate you guys. So Biff Markham's just all over the place. He can't help, but he's just what it is. Devontae Langford, we got you. We see you. And oh, by the way, my new favorite, Biff Markham has a name where he sounds like he's wearing like a cardigan with his name is so Biff and he's drinking tea. But my other new favorite name is Javarion Hillington. That name sounds like it should have like the 7th after it, right? Like, he goes and bathes. His name sounds like he goes and bathes and gold bullion. Joaquin Dominguez, we see you in there. Jordan Scott, we got you covered. We're going to get your shout outs in there into the chat. We're gonna get you in and get your call up to see what's going down with your fam. Yep. And just know we appreciate you guys for every single second of what you bring to the table. Come on, get it out. Get it out.
I got some here. I see one here from Coach Heesh. Said, shout out Gulf Coast Lockdown. Look, those boys are, I think they're going to be pretty entertaining this season to watch. I'm not sure how good they'll be, but I think they'll be entertaining to watch at the very least. They've got a lot of talent over there, as a lot of these teams do here in SimWorld Prep. And I know I've said it before. I said it in one of your 30 short episodes that I had filled in for you on. But I did mention it, and I'll say it live here on air in case there's someone's first time listening, or you're new and haven't heard me before. Who am I? I'm B-Wrong, and I'm going to be actually coming back down to covering more of SimWorld Prep. So you'll be hearing a lot more of me, see a lot more of me down here with Maestro in SimWorld Prep. We'll be talking more and that kind of stuff. It'll be fun to do more of this, Maestro.
I love that. Appreciate you there, Biff. Man, you have no idea what it does to my heart. Same thing for you, Tony D. You know what's up. You thought maybe Jason Bourne borrowed my car, so yeah, I tell you, man, that dude, you can't let him borrow your car. You know what's up, Tony. Come on, preach, brother. Love you guys so much, man.
It's so fun having you back here, Maestro. We got a final position of the third quarter coming to a close, and Team Victor still out in front here. It's almost time to put the fours up. We're gonna hold on for a little bit longer. Be right back though in the fourth quarter.
I gotta hold it.
Look, everybody got prices and other vices. I took a chance through the dices and got a nice hit. Was on the clock with security running the night. Some your life. Then I wait for it and then I pray for it. I just be hoping. Tell you what I paid for it. They say you never be as pure as your first form. The sights never be as clear as you first saw them. That's why I'm elevating and constantly meditating. Gotta keep my mind right, not waiting on hindsight. I never sacrifice the art for the limelight. And don't surround with who only show the highlights. I spent 20-some years in the twilight, and I swear look a whole lot like the spotlight. Really.
Welcome back, everyone. You know what time it is. Put up those scores.
Say it.
It is fourth quarter time. 53-45. Team Victoros closing in on those 5,000 EMs and the Trey-Jay SummerSlam Championship. We'll see if they can do it. We're still not going to actually call the games here proper, but it's been a real fun one, Maestro. It's good to have you back here for this one. I'm sure we'll see you back around for more of these games here as the off-season tournaments and events roll on here as well.
Absolutely. And you know what? Just hearing you say put up those fours made me mad to put my pants on too soon. I'm gonna tell you something though. What we've learned, or what I've learned from watching the past games, Team Wolf, Enzo's Wolf team, they can play from behind, as we saw how they got here. When they beat Team Yams. They were behind for a good portion late in the game, got back up and held on to it, right? So if anybody can be from behind, 10 or more, coming up with the last 3 minutes to go, Enzo's Wolf group has shown that they can handle that. So, we're not popping no, Gatorade yet. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. But look, man, Team Victoros was my favorite to win the tournament, and Benjamin Alexander's looked really impressive to me on the defensive end. As far as a SimWorld, you got to put a spotlight on here in this one, and I'm very impressed with what he's been doing defensively, and Wilson Lamb as well. And we're seeing it here, the steal from Lamb, picking the pocket here. This has been a really great showcase for all of these players on all these teams in terms of what they can do, what they're going to bring to their teams for the upcoming season that they'll be competing in, be it in SimWorld U or SimWorld Prep.
Yeah,
and this is the first time we're seeing a lot of these guys in action.
Right, I was going to say exactly the point. Getting a chance to see where they are, it gives us, it gives us another measuring stick. It gives us another opportunity for me, and one, and I'll say this, the analysts that work, that put together the stuff they're putting together for SimWorld U is always amazing, right? Just the great voices and the great minds that put that together, and I'm selfishly very glad that I'm just going to be selfish that I'm lucky enough to get your voice back here with SimWorld Prep, because one of the things that I like about SimWorld Prep is watching these kids grow, and then when I get the chance to watch them in SimWorld U, I remember when. It's kind of like, the proud parent, like I remember when, and yes, it's purely selfish on my part, and I admit that to everybody in open. I ain't ashamed about it. And one thing to see it happen here. What a move by Alexander in the paint, getting it, but not able to convert. Kick lighter with the rebound, bringing the ball. I'm sneaking back in, ain't I?
Well, you do the same thing, man. Look, I do it too. I understand.
But getting a chance to watch them do what they do, right? Getting a chance to watch them grow how they grow. Getting a chance to watch them see moments like this when we see a move by kick light or later. It's gonna be remember that time at the Trey-Jay, those moments. Those moments come back for us because we're blessed enough to be able to live with them in the moment. When it comes back and it counts because it's when the clock is ticking down and there's a championship on the line or something else, it makes those moments that much more special.
Yeah, you get to live it with them in real time, and we're seeing. Speaking of real time, I just saw Trey Hyman walk into the arena here, and him and Jamie Ramos are hosting this tournament, Maestro. Jamie Ramos was actually slated to compete in the tournament, but gave up his roster spot to someone else to have them play instead of him. He's heading to South Carolina to join Dre Pope down there, but didn't really need to be in here and gave his spot up to somebody else. So good on Jamie, right?
Yeah.
To do that.
Yeah, very mature.
And say, hey, I don't need the spotlight. I'll give it to someone else who needs it. And then of course you talk about Trey Hyman. Go ahead, Mike.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, my boy selling this stuff. My man got his hustle. My man got his hustle on. I can't be mad at him. I can't be mad at him because you know what? If I had a bunch of Maestro shirts, well, it's all gonna be V-necks and tanks and only for ladies. But anyway, if I had a bunch of, never mind. I can't even say it. I don't feel like thinking anybody mad at me. I'll be doing it, but I'll be giving away along with my phone number. But anyway, what are we talking about? I blanked out. What are we doing? What are we doing again?
Yeah, look. Hey, I got you. Trey Hyman. So most people who've been around know his story, but it was caught up in a gambling scandal, and was obviously not allowed to partake in SimWorld Prep after that anymore. He's since worked to rehab his image in the eyes of some people. Some people are not so quick to forgive. I won't say forget, but forgive. But he's got his own merch out here now. I saw some on the table as you're passing by coming in. And also want to make a quick aside here and remind all you watching this here, and if you're watching it back, we can't do it without you guys.
No,
we can't do this without you guys. The support that you all give to us in live streams here, on social media, in the Discord, everywhere you can give the support to us. We appreciate you all. We'll continue to share this experience with many people as you possibly can. Word of mouth is how we grow right now, and it's always better with a friend. And I know you love SimWorld because you're here and engaged darn near every day. So continue to support, comment, like our videos on YouTube, watch videos on YouTube. We should have a lot of these videos should have 50+ views on them from just you guys in general. There's enough for you in here to where we should have that happen on every single video. New people helps for sure, but you guys in here are what make this place special. Without you guys, we're just guys talking to ourselves, right?
I do that anyway, but
yeah, me too, brother.
Got a point.
Hey, look, that wouldn't change too much, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Really.
I'm just saying.
It'd be a lot less fun if it was just us here talking to ourselves.
I don't speak for yourself. I have a lot of fun talking. Never mind. I don't know what we're talking about.
Hey, I'm not gonna put words in your mouth. That's fair.
But you know what though?
No good though.
Our money in your mouth, because I tell you what, for everybody out there, bring us some coaches, bring us some players, and go let us put some money in your mouth, something, whatever. B-Ron says it.
Hey, I heard what you said. I let it go. I heard what you said. Hey. What you want to do? You want to put money in people's mouths, man? Hey, that's what you want to do, man. That reminded me. There's a you know what? Never mind. No. I'll save it. Save it off air.
Okay. All right,
it's funny, but I don't want. I don't want to. I don't feel comfortable sharing it on there. I'm not gonna do that to nobody. But look, back to the Trey Hyman thing. He is rehabbing his image, still trying to anyway. And I think the fact that he has merch out and around, playing off of the incident that happened with him, I think that shows a level of maturity, humility. Because I think if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at?
Right. No. Right. And I'm just gonna get this. I'm just gonna get this out the way, because I never really said how I felt about it, other than I was disappointed, and I left it alone. And I was one of the biggest flag toters for him, right? When he was here.
Yeah, a lot of people were. That's why I hit so hard when it happened.
Yeah, exactly. And when everything went down, a lot of people posted their pieces and their pods and everything else, coming, and I purposely stayed away from it because I'm just gonna be honest with you, I didn't trust myself with my feelings about it to know that I could be objective. The reality of it is, and I'll say this, and I hope this is heard in the right way, but with a player like that and a person like that trying to grow the way he is, this world has a hole in it now without him being around, without him being on the floor and stuff like that. And that's my biggest regret about all of this, the fact that our world got a little darker without his light in it, and I hope that comes across the way I actually mean it. And that's why I try to encourage some of the other players to do what they're going to do, and stay on the positive light, and doing what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Stay on the positive side, because again, not everything is going to be forgiven so easily, and that's one of those cases where this thing, unfortunately, is not, given the severity of it, but it's still something that you can come back from. You can come back from it. And speaking of coming back from things, man, down by 10, but we've got the Mount Rushmore Rumble coming up tomorrow. Actually, that's at 8 p.m. Eastern, starting on SimWorld TV. That's gonna be a fun one to witness. I won't be there for that one, but that's gonna be one to witness. Team Granite and Team Schist, how they pronounce, I believe. That's Montpica's host tournament. He's hosting that tournament in Watertown, South Dakota, at the hangar. You got, for Team Granite, you got Charles Pinkard, Montpica, Losi Thomas, Ronnie Shanahan, Avery Cooks, Malik Carter, Kai Allen, Cole Collins, Andrew Gibson, and Kenyon Young. And then for Team Schist, you've got Ty Merca, Jackson Sutton, Devontae Langford, Trader Rosen, James Norman, Weston McCook, Trayvon Patrick, Jordan Kalsu, Jaden Solis, and Kadarius Momofuku. That's a real fun one, man.
And it's free,
right? I can't wait to see that one. Yeah.
And it's free. Come on.
Yeah, the whole that's the thing. Whole experience is free, by the way.
I'm gonna take another spoonful of this mayonnaise in front of me right here. Y'all don't understand. Come on.
Specified mayonnaise and not Miracle Whip. All right, Maestro. Fair enough.
Absolutely. Come on. There's no Miracle Whip. I need the real deal. Come on, give me all my calories. I ain't no punk.
I'm not. I don't have a preference for either. I like them both equally, and that's just because I was in a group in a household where we had them both. My dad liked Miracle Whip, mom liked mayonnaise. So hey.
So you came from a mixed, mixed marriage household. Okay, I got it.
Yeah. What can you do, right?
I know, right? I know. Benjamin Alexander at the line.
Lemon Pepper Alexander himself.
Yeah. 1-1 lead there by Team Victorious. Now a 1-2 lead.
1-1 and 1-2. I every time I hear it, Maestro, I'm like, what is he saying? And then I look at the numbers and go, oh, okay, I get it.
Stay with me, baby. Come on. Stay with me.
I tried to, man. Numbers are my strong suit, man. I went to school to not do math, all right?
You know what I'm saying?
They said, I asked them, you have to do math? They said, can you do basic additional subtraction? I said, yeah. They were like, all right, that's it. I was like, good. That's all I need. All I need to do, man. I'm here for that. I might gotta use my fingers, but I get it done. I'll figure it out. And this one's all figured out as well. Team Victoros wins this one 69-59 and wins the Trey-Jay SummerSlam Championship. Maestro, I'm B-Ron. Will have a good rest of your night, folks. We'll see you tomorrow for the Mount Rushmore Rumble on SimWorld TV. And remember,
this has been a presentation of SimWorld Sports.